Yes, can you hear me? Great. All right, lovely. Okay, I'm going to be recording now, and I'd like to begin my presentation, I guess. So here we go. We're going to talk today about, let me just go very big, yes, like this. Okay, can you see it? Yes? I hope you do. Mute. All right, anyway, so let's go. Today we're going to talk about the writing part of the test. Like the other Wednesday, we talked about the speaking part of the test, which usually is of some concern to the teachers who prepare their students and for students who prepare themselves. So I hope the last session has sorted out some of your queries, okay? But if you have any more about the speaking part, I'm always here to help. You can always contact me, it's not a problem. Well, today is the writing part, so it's the composition writing. In all the speaking examinations, we've got, sorry, it's a dog-friendly office. I can't control it. We've got dogs everywhere. So in all the levels of LRN ESOL have got writing part, and it consists of 2 compositions, okay? So today we're going to talk about LRN essentials. Again, for those of you who are going to see, who haven't seen my previous webinars, or wants to, this is your first webinar that you have chosen to see out of the 11 that I already have made. So we're gonna talk a little bit about the LRN essentials. The next, we're going to talk about the writing part. We will analyze it. So I will open one of the samples of the writing part, and we're going to go through it, see what it is, what's inside. Next, we will go through the assessment criteria, what's considered distinction, what's considered merit, pass, fail, so on. And the last part, I'm going to show you some sample compositions from students and the way they were marked, so you can see what's going on, okay, how it is done. Okay, now, so let's go move on to the LRN ESOL exam essentials, right? LRN is a British national awarding organization which is registered and regulated by the Office of Qualifications of Great Britain. That makes the organization itself and the examinations that it provides valid everywhere in the world, because it's assessed by the organization which works under the auspices of the British Parliament. Okay, right. So what does LRN offer? Well, we offer ESOL examinations of English for speakers of other languages. These are international examinations. You can try from pre-junior levels and up to proficiency. So from age 5 until it doesn't matter. We've got children, teenagers, and adults taking our tests in many countries in the world. The fact that this exam is regulated and is made according to the Common European Framework of Languages makes it easy to prepare for, because all the books and the publishing companies are publishing books according to the CEFR. So the teachers are teaching according to the CEFR. So the examination, LRN, follows strictly the requirements and directives of the Common European Framework. So this is another point why this examination is so popular and spread worldwide and can be accepted everywhere. Next, so this is a slide that I like because it's got all the information. Why should anybody take LRN exam? The first one is that it's candidate friendly. We position ourselves as the examination without traps, without unpleasant surprises. It's very straightforward. It's got a very plainly written questions without any traps and got 3 answers in a multiple choice to choose from. Also, we haven't got any exaggerated requirements for the C2 level. That's something that you could observe in other examination bodies. The LRN exam aims at reducing the candidate's stress and in revealing their potential. We also support students with learning difficulties. Also, LRN is a smart exam because all the parts are considered as one module, which means that regardless of the part, the cumulative amount of correct answers is considered for the passing rate. So the 50% of all the answers, if they're correct, the student passes. That's a good thing about it. Now, the qualifications offer to the graduates, to the certificate holders, get a better job. They can get a better job because international companies also who know about the qualifications, who know about the standardization of English and computer skills and all the other skills, they know about these examinations, and they're definitely going to look at the candidate with an international certificate with different eyes. Okay, students can study in another country. LRN exam is accepted in universities abroad, and also the LRN exam allows you to track your progress, to see how your English skills are growing, if you are progressing or if you're in stagnation. So it helps you assess the way your study process goes. In order to prepare and study for the examinations, we offer these books that are available on our website. I will show you the website shortly. About the recognition, it's LRN ESOL is recognized by the governments in all these countries. Okay, but it's actually spread throughout Europe, Asia, Australia, mainly these parts. Okay. For more information about the course books, about the past papers, practice tests, please visit our website. Let me show you the website. Here it is. So if you go to the accreditationsolutions.ru, you can find a web page which is called Educational Materials, and it looks like this. So all of these are big chapters with a lot of tests, a lot of materials you can use with audio files and video files. Okay, so LRN has got tests 4 skills. These are the ones that you see. It's listening, speaking, writing, and reading. The writing is the one we are going to talk about. So let me just go quickly and show you the writing part exam paper. Just a sec. Let me find it. Standardization. No, just sample paper. Yes. All right. Here we go. All right. I hope you can see this. All right. So let's analyze the writing paper for B2. Okay. So as I've mentioned before, there are 2 parts in all the tests. So the writing in B2 consists of 1 compulsory task, which is number 1. So all the candidates, regardless of their likes and dislikes, have to write the same part 1. And in this paper, it is an email. Look how it goes. Basically, the listening part, which goes prior to the writing, so the writing follows immediately after the listening. The students, the candidates, are requested to listen to the last part of the listening for the 3rd time. So the task goes like this. Listen to Peter's message to his friend Jim again. Use the space provided below to take notes. You can use the information from the recording and the notes you have taken to write an email to a friend of yours who is moving to your town and wants information about what kind of sports facilities your town offers. write your email in the writing booklet task 1. So apart from this is the exam paper, right? But the students and the candidates are provided a writing booklet where they've just got a paper with lines in it where you can write everything. So they listen to do the task 1. They listen to the part 3 for the 3rd time, and they can write notes here. What you see here, these notes are not marked, by the way, but they're collected but not marked. So when your friend is moving, so you can listen to the recording and listen for specific details. When the friend is moving, what sports facilities are there, what they offer, when they're open, the cost, and which sports. You do ideas for your friend to meet people. Okay, so you write a few notes, you doodle, you do whatever you want, okay? As much as, I mean, you can use them, but at the same time, you're not obliged to. So, and after this, it says, you must do task 1. Write your email in a space provided in the writing booklet. You can use the notes you have taken from the message. You may add any relevant information you wish. Write your email in 100 to 120 words. Okay, so here is the task again, right? So they open the booklet and they write the composition, which is 100 words, which is very fast. I cannot tell you exactly how much time they have because the 3 parts are the listening, writing, and reading and use of English, these parts. They're all together in 2 hours and 15 minutes. So once the listening is over, which is a half an hour, the students are free to go fast, start writing the compositions. Alternatively, they can go to do the reading comprehension and the use of English, which follows, okay? So approximately 20 minutes per composition, which I believe is fine. Maybe more. Again, as I said, doesn't matter. Okay, so that's it. The students write an email, which is in an email form with a introduction, with a dear, so on, and yours, love, and at the end, right? It's a friendly, a letter to a friend. Okay, you've got paragraphing, you've got introduction paragraphing with linking devices and topic sentences. We're gonna go through the assessment criteria a little bit later, so let's have a look now at the part 2. The writing section 2 for the B2 test has got 3 options for you. You can choose 1, use the prompts and write your second composition, which could be either a letter, a story, or an essay. That's it. This composition is a little longer, which is 120 to 170 words. The prompts are for your candidates to use. It's absolutely fine if they use them as they are, or they paraphrase, and what they need to do is give examples, explain as much as possible. Okay, so task 2, one of the optional tasks, is a letter to a friend inviting him to a party. So the students are prompted here to write the reason for your party, the time and place of your party, or the activities that you are planning to do at the party, or what help you would like to have from your family or friends, like I want somebody to do this and that. So you're like writing a letter, but you also explain, and you might request them what to wear and what to bring. Again, it's up to the students what they want to add to their email and what they don't need to. Okay, so that's a letter, which is a friendly register, right? Again. Alternatively, they can write a story, A story that begins with the words, I was studying in my room when I heard a strange sound coming from the garden. Yes, so if your students really love stories, they've got this, some students, they really have it going, their fantasy runs wild, and they've got these ideas, and it's amazing even for a teacher who has seen it all, right? Sometimes it's like you're surprised. So, and even not so much if they don't want to write letters anymore because they find it boring or something. So they might write a story. In a story, again, you need paragraphing, of course. You need action words, popped, dashed, rushed to the place, you name it. And a conclusion, you need a climax of the story and the anticlimax sort of thing. Okay, so, and you build suspense, okay, with the students. I hope you like it and you use it in your practice. If you want to share with you my ideas of how we do this, and please leave a note, leave a message to me that, Svetlana, can we do this? Like, what were you talking about? I'll be more than happy to do this. Right, and so a story, either an essay. So at level B2, the students are trying their hand at writing essays. Here we've got an advantages and disadvantages essay about mobile phones. So again, thank God we've got prompts for them. They can use them or ignore them. The advantages of mobile phones: easy communication, always connected, useful in emergency situations, main useful applications. So they can, these are the paragraphs if they want to use them. This is the topic for a paragraph, and they just have to explain what do they mean here. And then again, the disadvantages, they have to add several disadvantages and explain. Disadvantages could be constant use, addiction, dangerous while driving, reduced personal contact, and spending hours playing games. So as you see, the vocabulary for the B2 is pretty common, is like the words that we use on TV in everyday situations, right? That's the B2 is all about anyway. So you see, that's the task, and this is B2, the level that they are accepted at the university with a B2 level, right? For the bachelor's degree anyway. So that's it, finished. Now, let me show you my presentation again. Where was I? We've analyze this, and now, sorry, my mistake. Now, let's see the assessment criteria. Assessment criteria for the test. What is considered the best, the distinction mark, right? Can I just show you, so the score, sorry, can I show the score first? So the marks, each composition gets 0 to 7, which is a fail. 8 is a pass, 9 is merit, 10 is distinction. That's it. If the students score the highest grade, they get 10, which is distinction, okay? Merit is 9. 8 is a pass. And the same for the second composition. So the total mark for writing part, the best mark is 20, okay? Right, let's go see what's the distinction, the best mark. So this is very interesting and notable for you, how the writing part is assessed. It's assessed against 4 criteria. 4. The first one is overall impression. The next, task fulfillment, organization and cohesion, grammar and lexis. That's it. So the candidate who deserves distinction is writing has a very positive effect on the reader. Okay, so the general impression is very positive. What do we mean? The task fulfillment, which is a very important point, because sometimes we know how to talk about something which is similar, so our composition does not follow the task, okay, and which is criticized, okay, and is punished. The students are penalized for this. Right, so the student who gets distinction responses appropriately to the prompts throughout. So if they are requested to follow, to answer some prompts or to describe, and they stick to the point, they stick to the task, okay, and they really indulge into it without straying away. Also, the composition is generally well presented and developed with all parts clear and developed. Okay, so the parts, if there are a few things that the students need to mention, they're well developed, which means there is a paragraph, there is a topic sentence, there is an explanation, and maybe a conclusion in that paragraph, and that's it. It's all very clear what they're trying to do. Okay, now next. The next in task fulfillment is that the layout and the register are appropriate to the prompts of the task, which means if it's a letter, sorry, I need to, my telephone is connected to my computer. So if it's a letter which is a friendly letter, so the students, the candidates follow the friendly letter format, there are no stylistical mistakes, as if they're talking to the president of the country. And at the same time, when we are writing an essay, we are not writing in emotional words like great, huge, you know, it's amazing, right? We stick to semi-formal register and replace these words with significant, considerable, okay, something like this. So this is the register, the disclosing the actual topic, what is requested from them, is about task fulfillment. Hello, Halima, by the way. And now the organization and cohesion of the composition. So what does it mean? You see how important it is. The ideas are well organized and presented in a reader-friendly manner. The paragraphing, making the text easy to follow. So here is the paragraphing, actually. The main points or ideas are amply supported and elaborated. We've got a lot of cohesive devices like transition words, linkers. They are used appropriately and convey intended meaning throughout. And the punctuation is also accurate. So this is organization and cohesion. And finally, one of the 4 parts is spelling and, sorry, I'm going to put it like this. Spelling, grammar and lexis. So at the B2 level, it's very commendable if they use a variety of sentence structure. The errors do not impede understanding, right? And they use a wide variety of vocabulary accurately and appropriately, and the spelling is correct throughout. Well, as you will see today, some spelling mistakes, some spelling blunders are accepted. They are not, students are not criticized and not penalized for them. Okay, right, let me show you. Sorry, how can I just trying to get rid of this, and it's coming back to me. Great, next. So what is a merit? Sorry. Okay, so what is a merit? Here's better. The overall impression, again, is the performance, meaning the compositions are consistent at the level B2, okay? The writing has a positive effect on the reader, again, which is for merit. Now, as for the task fulfillment, what's the difference? Again, the candidate with a merit responses appropriately to the prompts. The composition is generally well presented and developed, but as you see, there are isolated instances of unclear or underdeveloped parts. So it's not perfect, it's not exceptional. There are some instances, not one instance, some instances, which means 3 or 4, which is okay, right? And you still get a good mark, not just a pass. The text format and the layout, the register are appropriate to the task. So if the student fulfills the task and he's disclosing, he's writing his ideas clearly, that's fine, he gets married. The organization and cohesion. Here the main points again and ideas are supported and elaborated. The use of cohesive devices is present. With only a few minor errors. So for the married, a few minor errors are just fine, okay? The candidate's punctuation is accurate with only a few non-impeding errors. So there are only a few mistakes in punctuation, a few mistakes in meaning, a few mistakes in development, right? It's still a very good mark. The grammar. The grammar, yeah, the students uses a variety of grammatical structures, yes, and lexical. The errors, though, do not impede the understanding, right? So that's it. The use of a wide variety of vocabulary, a few errors in vocabulary are also okay. And spelling is correct most of the time, which does not impede the meaning. So some spelling typos are also acceptable for the merit, for the good grade. Now, what is a pass? Again, the overall impression is that the candidate's writing is positive, fairly positive effect, okay? Some aspects may cause the reader strain. So some aspects are not really clear, but he still gets a pass, right? Now, responses, as for the task fulfillment, the responses are appropriate to the prompt most of the time, okay? The ideas are presented, although there are some parts may be unclear. So a part of a composition is unclear, like maybe 1/4 of a composition is not clear, okay? And he uses a text form and layout in the same way. Let's move on. So again, in the organization and cohesion, somebody who gets a pass, the points are elaborated and supported most of the times, okay? So the key word everywhere here is most of the time. The ideas are organized. You can see there is organization. You can see there are paragraphs, right? You can see cohesive devices, okay? There are minor errors that may be evident. So there is evidence that this is not this is a B2 level, right? Some mistakes are allowed for the pass. There are a few minor errors in grammar. The errors do not impede understanding. So you understand, the reader understands that you can do this. The spelling is correct most of the time, does not impede the meaning. Okay, so this is a pass, which is a good grade, right? It's still a pass. So what's a fail? So the candidate writing has a negative effect on the reader, right? The ideas are mostly unclear and underdeveloped. So you have some clear ideas, but mostly the majority of them are not undeveloped and not clear. The format can be not correct and the register is not correct. Okay, so you can see that the candidate is striving. Okay, he's struggling. Sorry. Okay, as for the organization and cohesion, that's like if this candidate's points are not often developed. So the majority are not well developed, elaborated. Okay. There are attempts to use the cohesive devices, but they are inappropriate or inaccurate, and the punctuation is inaccurate. So that's it. Now, as for the grammar and lexis, there are errors. They are rather frequent and impede understanding. The vocabulary is okay. He uses some vocabulary, but repeatedly there are limitations in the variety and range. Okay. So that's a fail. You don't get a B2 if you do all this. So I'm going to show you the last slide here, which basically is in the directives by the LRN to the writing assessors, deciding on the candidate's final mark. That's important, guys. Examiners should base their mark on a holistic view of the candidate's performance by balancing word and sentence level aspects with broader text level consideration, task fulfillment, and communicative effectiveness to reach an overall mark. Examiners will use the marking criteria, CEFR level information, and a standardization training to ensure they are marking accurately and consistently. Examiners must use numerical values to work on the final score. So as I showed you, these are the numerical values. So you will see today, like the candidates, those who were good, they got these marks in task fulfillment. So all the 4 criteria are marked separately, and then the sum of these marks gives you a pass or a fail or a merit or distinction. Okay, so let's go to the practical part. I'm ready to share with you. Just a second, I need to find my, where do I stop? Okay, I would like to share with you some compositions. Let's see this, for example. Where is it? Yes, here we go. So this is a composition. I hope you can see this. This is not the one. I was hoping to see this one. Constantina. Okay, so Constantina was writing. It's the one about visiting my town and the sports facilities. Remember we discussed it? So you see, this is Dear Katie, everything's fine. These are marks, meaning, okay, this is how they mark in Europe. So there are some mistakes here. Sports centers has, you see, it's underlined the mistake. Nothing is rigid, nothing is written extra. So basically, okay, this is a minor mistake. This is just a grammar slip, right? It's a mistake to the entertain and to go to entertain our body. Like this is not clear, right? She's struggling for words. So simple sentence, you see. So this is a B2, pounds and months. The sports center open every day from 9, so on. So that's it, right? Don't worry about how to meet new friends. I'm thinking to organize a party in my house. I'm thinking of organizing, right? So the school, the first day of school, to meet my friends. This is so with them, right? So you see, these are some minor errors. The student got a 10. So she's got the maximum, the best mark for this, because there are some minor slips, minor problems, but the general impression is very positive. It's the task is fulfilled, the register is appropriate, the grammar, the variety of grammar is obviously used. I haven't read it all. The vocabulary is appropriate, and it's all clear. So the student got this good mark here, right? So let's go and see something else. I've got a Smaragda. Let's see Smaragdas now. So Smaragda is again B2, again the same thing. Such a nice surprise to hear from you. Everything here is fine. Here's a mistake. Information's a mistake. To begin with, this is good. The linking device, right? Then lots of, this is a mistake. Okay, but everything is generally positive. You see, so these are the little ticks mean that it's positive. So this is a minor mistake, which is repeated. It's the same mistake. Okay, and love it. What do you mean you eat, right? Felt. This is a grammar mistake, right? A serious one, but I guess this is just one of a single case, maybe, or one of the 2 cases. Okay. At whatever the font. This is an unclear. She was struggling for an expression anytime you want, but that's what she remembers, I guess. And finally, so I will give you the marks soon. So you see, I can't wait to time to see you. All right, wait, I need to show you how much she got. Just a second. Who else do I have? Yeah. Oh, yes, and Jenny. Let's see Jenny. So this is Jenny. She was writing this kind of handwriting, which was okay. So it's about it. And I went on with my homework. And this is a composition from the part 2, which is a story. I was studying in my room when I heard a strange sound coming from the garden. First, I wasn't curious about it and went on with my homework. Soon, however, it got loud and I decided to go to the garden to find out what made that noise. Okay. So, slowly I went to so she uses some devices. She uses the emotional words that scared me, right? I froze, you see, there's suspense, growing small sentences help grow suspense. And then the thoughts of the author, like I thought, I panicked. There was nowhere I could hide. So, and she got a 10, of course. So that was perfect composition. Right. And let me show you now something else. I have the paper. Just a second. Where was it? Sorry, I need to stop sharing and start sharing again. Sorry about this. And I've got the standardization. Yes, here we go. Okay. So let's see with Konstantina. These are the Konstantina's marks. So this is a distinction, merit, pass. This is how the writing part is assessed. So the assessor gives the marks for what was 4 for distinction. Here were the 2. So the total mark turned out to be 10. She didn't give her a very, overall impression was pass only. So it was okay, but not really a fire, you know, it was not like something special. The organization was great. The examiner's organization was very good. The grammar lexis was also only a pass. Okay. So, and this is what was written. Candidate's performance meets the can-do statements. The responses are appropriate, generally well presented and developed. The text format are appropriate. Now, about the organization. It's very well organized and presented. Paragraphs, making the text easy to follow. The main points are supported and elaborated. The cohesive devices are used. The candidate's punctuation is very accurate. And here are some mistakes. Okay, some complexity. This is some complexity. Okay, so here are the used accurately, some errors in grammar, syntax. So these are the errors. Okay. Now about Smaragda, the second one. She had higher mark for all the parts, right? Look, she had a distinction for the overall impression. It was very good. She fulfilled the task completely. It was very positive. The examiner was very positive. Her organization was great, and grammar lexis were not always so good. So she got a 10, mark of 10. Again, and I guess this is the good comments that we've seen. So the mean reason, so there are these are the mistakes. That's why she got only merits, like it was a good mark for grammar, not perfect, right? And these are other candidates. Let me show you the last, the one that was written by Jenny. Let me just a second. Yes, here we go. This was perfect, right? So nothing. There was just a couple of errors, like both simple and complex structures. No spelling or punctuation inaccuracies. Wow. So here we go. And that's it. I'd like to share with you my details. So in case you are interested in collaboration with us, I'm here. You can find me on these 2 emails, lrn@equals.net or accreditation@equals.net, or call me on Viber or on WhatsApp so we can chat live. Okay, thank you. That's it from me. Do you have any questions, dear ladies? I'm going to unmute you if you want. All right. So, yes, Halima. Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. You see, I was nervous that I didn't receive the papers for the presentation today. Something that I wanted to show, but finally I found it in my mailbox. It was amazing.
Today I met him, this guy, Azamat. I was in the conference dedicated to interpreting problems. Interpreter, so on. I asked him, but he was so busy because he organized an interview. It's good, good. I see your steps are very good. Good.
Thank you so
the
much.
problem is good, but people must know what is to solve.
Yes, exactly. So we're working on it. Okay, Halima, I'll be in touch. I'm gonna be recording now and send you the what you requested. I'm gonna prepare it now. Bye-bye.
Bye, 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 bye.